Picture this. You go up to a till to buy your weekly groceries, but your card gets declined. What? You think to yourself, I just got paid last week. Where did my money go? You then remember that you ate out at your local restaurant with your significant other and bought some things on Amazon. Not to mention that sale on jeans over the weekend and that bank fee to use your card in a different ATM. We've all had similar situations where we realize that our money is just floated away. But where? Let's go over some ways that you lose money regularly, but you don't even realize it. Number 1. Emotional spending. One of the ways that we tend to lose money randomly is through emotional spending. Think about it. You're sitting at home feeling a bit down. You start scrolling on your phone and find an advertisement for a product you wanted for a while, and you find that it's finally on sale. You go to the website, buy it, and have it shipped to you in a couple of days. It arrives, and you feel better. For a time at least. It's all too common that we buy things to mask our pain, stress, or boredom. If you're in a state of stress or depression, it can be more difficult to manage your discipline over your wallet. It may not even be expensive things we buy, but little purchases here and there to make us feel better. It can be as small as a coffee, or as big as a new tech upgrade or a car. Instead of using our cards and cash to make us feel better, spend some time practicing mindfulness. It will not only help you manage your finances better, but it will put you in a better position to manage your emotions. Talk things out with a friend or a therapist if you need to. Number 2. Not tracking expenses. This is a trap we've all fallen to. We get so caught up with our daily lives, we tend to forget when and where we've spent money. After a week or 3, when we remember to check our statements, we're blown away by how much we've spent. If you're wondering where it all went, just look through your statements. I say this like it's easy to do, but the reality is that we all forget to check, or we think we can remember what and where we've spent our money, and we don't remember. The quick and simple way to do this is twofold. Budget monthly and track your expenses daily. It can be tedious, but tracking where your money goes is crucial for building wealth. I've got a video on how to build an effective budget, and I recommend you go check it out after you finish this video. Number 3. Keeping up with the Joneses. When was the last time you bought something just because someone else had it and you didn't want to feel left out? We've all had that problem where we buy something to try and impress people or to not feel left out. All that does is make us poorer and more miserable. Some examples of this can include wanting to buy something because your favorite influencer has the same product and you want to be just like them, so you buy it. Once you get it, more often than not, you don't feel more happy. You might just feel less happy since the product didn't bring you happiness and you spent money you otherwise could have used elsewhere. Another way this happens is with luxury items. You may have a neighbor that has the flashy car or pimped out watch, maybe an expensive suit. You don't want to fall behind in the minds of others, so you go out and get a similar car, a new suit, and maybe some extra toys, just to fit in. Before you know it, you've taken on debt you can't pay on items you don't need to impress people that you don't care about. Worst of all, they're not even paying attention to you. So forget trying to impress others. Don't buy useless things just to fit in. It won't make a difference to you anyways. Number 4. Ignoring small leaks. Small leaks? What are those? Well, these are the little expenses you have throughout a week that add up. A trip to the vending machine, a visit to the coffee shop, buying a quick snack at your local bistro, little expenses like that. Something that you don't necessarily do every day, but over time can add up to a pretty good chunk of cash. I'd say that most of these purchases or expenses are under $10, mainly because they're so small, we don't pay attention to them, as it's just $3 here or $7 there. Even little fees like ATM fees can be categorized as budget leaks. So how can we avoid them? Mindfulness. As you're doing your budget and sticking to it, be mindful of these little transactions that you do. It can mean the difference between having enough each month for necessities and not. Number 5. Not negotiating. You may not realize it, but just about everything is negotiable in terms of pricing. You might not be able to barter with your local restaurant or grocery store, but you can negotiate prices on your utilities, rent, and other purchases. You see, companies want you to pay the highest possible price, and if you don't give a bit of pushback, you'll end up paying the highest price. Any utility bill can be negotiated down, either with leverage from another company or from a customer retention perspective. Here in Canada, we can negotiate our phone and internet bills regularly. Even if we don't change providers, we can threaten to move providers. Since it's in the best interest of the company to keep us, they have a loyalty department that can offer better rates in hopes of retaining business. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but other times I've been able to cut 3 to 4 months worth of internet and phone bills with just a simple call. To have the best possible chance of winning a negotiation, you'll want to do some research to see what you're dealing with. If you find that there are better prices from other companies, you can leverage that knowledge to negotiate a price down in your favor. Look into deals, savings, price differences, etc. before going into negotiations. You may find that your current company might play with you or tell you no. Regardless, you'll be more informed, and an informed customer is a savvy customer. Number 6. Small fees and charges. This is an extension of reason 4, but more focused on the little fees that we pay on a regular basis. ATM fees, credit cards, overdraft, NSF, etc. These little fees on their own don't matter too much, but once you start to accumulate fees, sometimes into the hundreds of dollars, that's money that you could have used elsewhere instead of lining the pockets of the banks and corporations that charge them. To this day, I still have never used an ATM that wasn't associated with my bank. The idea of paying $3 to access my cash seems criminal. Having to pay fees for using overdraft or even penalizing me an insufficient funds fee for mistiming my deposits and withdrawals seems ludicrous. How do I avoid these dumb, avoidable fees? I plan strategically. I exclusively use ATMs that are associated with my bank, which doesn't charge me to use them. I'm also careful in timing when I do my redemptions for my account. An error I made in the past means I can learn from it for the future. All this means I don't pay my bank unnecessary fees. Take it from a former bank teller and myself. Save yourself some money. Number 7. Gambling and lottery. Wasting money on the lottery in the hopes of hitting it big is simply that, a waste of money. Sure, I admit to buying a ticket every now and then, but my retirement and future don't revolve around winning a game of odds. Maybe you get lucky, but it's not something you should bet your life on. I get that we all want to blow some money at the casino and part of having a good time with friends. Playing some blackjack or poker may be fun to some. For others, though, it can become a gateway to a gambling addiction. It's best not to get involved with that stuff, especially if you're prone to addictions. If you want to gamble, you first need to understand the risks involved. You will most likely lose your money. With that in mind, set a strict budget that is well within your means and do not go over it. Once you hit that limit, walk away. It's not worth losing your shirt over some game that's rigged against you. Number 8. Not taking advantage of discounts. When you go for a budgeted shopping spree, you may not even realize that you could be leaving hard-earned dollars in your account by waiting an extra day or two for a sale. For example, my grocery store holds a 15% off sale on the first Tuesday of each month. I build up a grocery list of just about everything I need, then I can go to the store on that day and save a good amount of money on my grocery bill. Not only that, I look at flyers and coupons for what's available that week, so I can save on the purchases I need to make. Other stores and companies offer similar deals and sales on a regular basis. As mentioned earlier, if your phone or internet provider has a loyalty department, get in touch with them to see how you can save some money. It never hurts to ask and try. You might think that these tips only save a few dollars here and there, and it's not worth your time. Let me remind you that not following these tips could cost you thousands of dollars in a year. Dollars that could be going to your debt reduction or investments. Try out a couple of these tips and some other ones you find out on the internet. I have a video talking about 10 different ways you waste money, so I recommend you go check that out right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.